they don't drown at sea, many children born into war and poverty, whose parents fled conflict and sought refuge in Europe, don't just lose their childhoods, but also disappear once they reach Europe, a place considered synonymous with civility and birthplace of international law.
But if this goes on, by the year 2000, 31 million children will be involved directly as refugees or displaced people. That's the equivalent of all the children in the UK and Germany.
One wishes this prediction from 1996 had not come true. At least 18,000 migrant children disappeared in Europe between 2018 and 2020. Human trafficking in Europe, which had slowed during the COVID-19 pandemic, increased exponentially once the pandemic ended, and this surge was reflected in the number of children missing since 2021. As human trafficking increased, so too did the number of migrant children who vanished in Europe. An estimated 50,000 migrant children went missing in Europe between 2021 and 2023. And keep in mind that these numbers only include officially registered children. In other words, these figures are just the tip of the iceberg.
Često to jesu djeca. Djeca se gube često i na samim graničnim prijelazima, ali i cijelim tijekom njihovog putovanja.
The prolonged bureaucratic procedures for family reunifications in Europe create conditions for many children to fall into the hands of human smugglers.
In Greece, authorities have launched an international appeal to track down the parents of a 4-year-old girl. Investigators believe the little girl may be the victim of a child trafficking plot.
Procedures need to be a lot faster, and children need to be part of that process so they don't fall through the cracks and they do not fall prey to smugglers and traffickers. One expects better from Europe, from a region that has a tradition of noble values, of good data collection, of good child and welfare protection systems. So one expects better in this region.
Among European countries, Italy has the highest number of missing migrant children, followed by Austria, Belgium, Germany, and then Switzerland.
Oekraïne is bovendien zelf de grootste leverancier van kinderen voor pedonetwerk, mensensmokkel en orgaanhandel.
Between 2002 and 2022, the highest percentage of identified human trafficking victims was attributed to Ukraine, which saw 16% of global human trafficking. And once taken by traffickers, children are primarily used for prostitution, drug trafficking, organ trading, and forced labor. It is estimated that worldwide annual profits from human trafficking exceed $200 billion. Human trafficking in Europe alone raked in $32 billion. According to Migration and Home Affairs of the European Commission, the 55 most dangerous criminal networks of Europe are involved in human trafficking, and trafficking in human beings is often linked to drug trafficking, migrant smuggling, organized property crime, money laundering, and document fraud. The invisibility of traffickers and the impunity of their crimes is the biggest reason for the proliferation of victims.
Sometimes you see 3 men, sometimes 4, something. Also, I think
we continued to see impunity, and the consequence of that is a failure to ensure access to justice for victims and to effective remedies, and in particular continued failures of prevention of trafficking.
Considering the rise in the number of missing migrant children over the years, Europe has yet to achieve a noteworthy success in preventing these disappearances and curbing the illegal trafficking of humans.
Trafficking in human beings is one of the worst forms of organized crime, carried out by cross-border gangs that exploit people, their labor and their bodies. This is a European problem. It's obvious that we need to do more.
New software is being developed to locate missing children. However, even if some of them can be found through these efforts, there is no software in existence that can restore a lost childhood.